how do you see 2017 in terms of VC interest? Will they be cautious as they were in 2016? And what are the early signs that you're getting?
Okay, so first of all, they're cautious only relative to 2015.
Yeah.
Right? In other words, still there's tremendous amounts of VC funding.
We've seen angel funds, and we've seen...
There's a lot of funds. It's a very robust VC environment. Stock markets, when stock markets are at their all-time highs, trust me, the VCs are interested in investing. And I think 2017 will be another very, very good year. What's hot going forward is machine learning everything. If you're a data scientist, you've got a very bright future. Contact me. I want to hire you.
Okay.
Because really, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, you can't build the stuff quick enough. And everybody is just, they're doing acqui-hires, right? If you can get a company with 10 data scientists, you're worth millions of dollars, right? We're really into virtual reality. I think that virtual reality, not necessarily just as a game platform, which is really cool. If you've tried any of this stuff, it's pretty wild. Can't keep it on for much longer than 15 or 20 minutes. But for industry, for the professionals, it's going to be big. So we've got a company called Surgical Theater who's using it for brain surgery. Believe it or not, we're working with HTC, and brain surgeons can now slap on a VR headset and see inside the brain, 360 degrees, 3D, exactly where they're supposed to put that aneurysm clip. And that's huge, and that's a very, very different. Ag tech is going to be big. The world needs to be fed. And so we've got a joint venture now with a great agricultural firm called Finisterre and two big companies, one called Bayer and one called DuPont. And we're making investments in agriculture in something called Radical. And we have companies that are building low-cost IoT sensors to help you measure water usage with your cell phone. Companies that will help you fight disease in the field. So there's just so much work to be done. And I think that it's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur.
You've been meeting a lot of startups here. What role can our crowd play in the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem? What message would you like to give to our Indian entrepreneurs?
Well, first of all, the message is it's never been a better time to invest, and it's never been a better time to actually start up. It's so easy today relative to what it used to be like. You can get open source software to build your applications on. You can rent bandwidth, and you can rent server space. The cloud is here. And there's now crowdfunding platforms, in addition to the traditional angel and venture capital sources, where funding is available. You've got to start up. Don't wait.
Do you see the next unicorns coming from India?
Absolutely. And I think, and not only unicorns in terms of just meeting this huge market, but in terms of going and solving global problems. Look, one of the issues in Silicon Valley is that it's so wealthy, it's so privileged, that many entrepreneurs, when they get there, they look in this house of mirrors and they say, let's go solve some rich people's problem. They're solving problems for the 1 billion on the planet. But there's another 6 billion who need a whole set of other solutions and products and services. And I think entrepreneurs in India are living that. They can see those problems. They experience them. And not only will that make the world a better place, but you'll make a ton of money by focusing on that. And that's why I'm so optimistic about this area.
What are the future plans with our crowd? I believe you have a goal of investing $1 billion annually by 2020.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. I'm quite confident, actually, that that goal can be met. What it requires for us is that we develop tools and software that will allow people to work as a community in this global network to help us not only source deals, but to diligence deals, to make good selections, and then to get involved and to push these companies forward. And what's wild is that we're seeing that our network is actually helping our companies. That we made an investment in India in Zoomcar, and the next thing you know, Zoomcar does a deal with an Israeli company called Mobileye, where we made the introduction, and Mobileye is providing anti-collision systems so that Zoomcar not only has this great platform, but it can actually help people avoid accidents. And it's that kind of added value that I think makes us smart money, not just another source of money.
You have your Global Investor Summit coming up in February. What should we expect from that summit?
A lot of fun. I'd like to, from this podium, essentially invite all of your listeners to come join us. We've got 5,000 people expected in Jerusalem, Israel. We'll have all of our 100 companies. We'll have dozens of venture capital partners. We'll have dozens of multinational corporations. And it'll be basically under the theme of the future is here. And it'll be seeing the future in these great areas of ag tech and med tech and artificial intelligence and machine learning. And there'll be a really quite an interactive summit from people from around the world. We'll have hundreds of people from Asia. And I hope we'll have, maybe even 100 people from India join us in Jerusalem on February 16th at the R Crowd Global Investor Summit.
All right. We wish you the very best. Thank you, John, for speaking to us. With that, it's a wrap on this very special edition of Young Turks. As always, write into us with your comments, feedback and suggestions to youngturks@network18online.com. Drop your comments on our Facebook page. Watch out for all the news and highlights on our Twitter page as well. From the entire team, goodbye and many thanks for watching.
Celebrating 15 years of Young Turks.